Miracle on 34th Street. It's another Christmas classic time. In case you didn't know what Miracle on 34th Street was, it's a Christmas classic. It's probably, other than saying the words "A Christmas Carol," the most recognizable Christmas classic. And today we're going to talk about the original Miracle on 34th Street, which actually gave Edmund Gwenn an Oscar for playing Santa. That is how good this film is from 1947. It still stands up today. This film has aged well. It feels like a nice blast in the past, and there are of course a couple iterations of Miracle on 34th Street which you could watch, but this is the classic, man. I mean, this is this is Edmund Gwenn. This is Maureen O'Hara. This is Natalie Wood. I don't like, what else do you want? Like, what are you looking for here? You know, do you need more than that? um, it's on Disney Plus, but it does not have audio description. And I know Disney, it's really hard to figure stuff out. If you want, you can send me a list and be like, pick 100 titles, and I'll tell you which 100 on your service you should. And this would be on it. It's a classic that people are going to revisit every Christmas. It's a classic that's an Academy Award winning film. Where else are you ever going to hear that somebody won an Oscar for playing Santa Claus? It's so bizarre that this does not have audio description. This is not a priority for them. There are just certain touchstone classic films throughout the years that scream, describe me. And I'm kind of shocked that this doesn't have it. That's why I went ahead and reviewed it anyway. I was like, I'm not gonna stop watching Miracle on 34th Street just because Disney. I haven't seen it in a few years. I think it's actually my first time seeing it since being blind. And I was just revisiting it, and I noticed that it was on their list of Christmas movies. And I was like, oh, great. And it's the original. Not that I don't like the one with Richard Attenborough. I think he's fantastic. But it's so nice to see Edmund Gwenn. He's just so believable and genial and kind, and oh, he's everything we need right now. Like, this man's performance, there's so much anger and hatred, and we're just yelling at each other all the time. And this guy is nothing but love and niceness and just kindness and just Christmas spirit and just doing the right thing and just trying. It's just, it's like a role model for ages, you know, just, this is what we need. This is exactly the kind of film that we need. This film should be plastered on the front of Disney Plus, be like, you know, we've seen that the world is too angry right now. We'd like everybody to watch Miracle on 34th Street, regardless of your religion. I think there's stuff you can pick up from this. The film doesn't actually talk about, you know, religiously why we're celebrating Christmas. If anything, it talks about the commercialization of Christmas. So even if you're not of Christian faith and you're worried and you're like, this isn't my film because I don't celebrate Christmas, I'd be like, well, I think this one is this one kind of left off the Jesus part of Christmas. You know, I mean, there are parts where if they wanted to, they could make the argument, they could talk about it. You know, there's the whole famous courtroom sequence where they have Santa up on the stand, and the argument is that they can't prove he's not Santa. Now they could do that same thing if he was saying he was Jesus, and it's like, prove he's not. You know, it's up to you. You're saying he's crazy because he says he believes he's this person, but how do you know that he's not? You haven't proven that he's not. So yeah, it's there are correlations there, but they don't actually succinctly bring it up. You know, that was the big thing in the Bible about Jesus, was that he said he was the son of God, and people were like, no, you're not. Let's get you out of here. And that's kind of what's happening to Santa here, is he's on trial and they can't really prove he's not Santa. So luckily things work out better for Santa, because if they worked out the same way for him, this would be a really morbidly depressing movie. But yes, this takes place largely in a department store in Macy's. So, um, and Gimbals is still mentioned. This is the second film, by the way, where Gimbals has been a fixture. I already reviewed Elf. So Gimbals has appeared. I'm not even doing that many Christmas movies in terms of reviews. And Gimbals has appeared in 2 of the 3 films I've chosen so far. That's iconic. Yeah, this is a really nice film, and Maureen O'Hara does a really nice job playing that. She's playing a divorced woman, by the way, in 1947, which I think is great. I mean, yes, we were starting to get progressive with ideas and stuff like that, but she's doing it in a family film. Like, this film is aimed at everyone. And we have a divorced mother raising a young child, and the father is, I have no idea. Like, I don't know where the father is. Not here. um, is raising a young Natalie Wood. And Natalie she's great. There's like another kid that pops up in the movie, and he speaks a lot, and you kind of realize that we hired a lot of kids to do that kind of like, oh, gee whiz type of thing from back in the day. We really just do not put enough emphasis today on how great our child actors now are. Back then, we had a lot of people who were like, yeah, let's go do that. That's amazing. Oh my God. My daddy wouldn't do that because he's amazing. There's a lot of people a lot of little child actors in this film that are just like, I know this is what we wanted from little children actors at the time, but come on, guys. And then you've got Natalie Wood, who's actually trying to like emote. She's like, I am an actress. So, yeah, you can see that there's something special happening in her young performance, even before she ever gets to any of her more roles, adultish roles. I don't know, like West Side Story, yeah, whatever. She's like a teenager in a sense. I don't know. I don't know if adult is ever the right word. But yeah, it's a classic. It's fantastic, and I don't know why Disney doesn't have audio description on it. But then again, I saw It's a Wonderful Life over on Max, and it didn't have audio description, so I give up. Like, you can lead a horse to water, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can bring you there, but honestly, and I've heard the complaints where they're like, well, we only have just so many resources to. No, you don't. You actually have a ton. You only want to use a limited amount of resources on blind people. That's what you're saying, is that you've allotted a tiny little fraction of money for bringing up accessibility. So let me break into your house and steal most of your shit, and then I'll gradually give you it slowly back over time. See how that feels, because that's essentially me. That's essentially what happens to people who lose their vision throughout life. Is okay, so now I can't see the films anymore. Oh, and they don't have accessibility. So, but we're slowly, really slowly adding them back to act like we care about accessibility. Got it. Okay, so I'm going to take everything you own inside your house and I'll slowly give it back to you and see how that makes you feel. I have a feeling maybe we would just get a little bit more audio description a year, just a little bit faster. Yeah. Anyway, that's not really the Christmas spirit, but I think everybody should see Miracle on 34th Street at some point in their life, which I don't know how I'm supposed to recommend this film. Blind people, you should watch this regardless. But it's true. We should watch Miracle on 34th Street at some point in your life. It's just a great story if you're unfamiliar with it. However, there are many ways that you can watch it, so I will say you don't have to watch this version. If you can catch any of the other versions ever with audio description, go for it. This also gets performed a lot in plays, and as live action. There's a live action play form of this that gets performed by people sometimes. Although people traditionally like to do A Christmas Carol, but it is possible to do A Miracle on 34th Street as a play. I've seen it done before. So maybe you could catch it as a play. But just the concept and everything it's just a great movie with a lot of great ideas. And it's the kind of film that we need right now in our life. And it's a shame that it doesn't have accessibility and audio description. I'm grading it anyway, because I'm not going to tell a 1947 film with Edmund Gwenn. These people aren't even around for me to contact them and be like, you should be mad that the film that you made in 1947 doesn't have accessibility today. They'd be like, what is audio description? What is this? It wasn't around in 1947. I can't go and yell at people for that. So it's a classic. It's always been a classic. And this is why Disney Plus did not win my best streaming service award of the year. It's one of the reasons, because they still have some really obvious film choices on their roster. They have TV shows that they could be doing. They consistently release new documentaries like The Mission that do not have audio description, but they're releasing them so people can watch them because they're trying to get an Oscar campaign going for them. All sorts of things. There really is not that big of a priority at Disney. They just want to do it for Disney Prime. You know what I'm saying? Like the Walt Disney classics. Beyond that, they don't give a shit. So, but I do. Miracle on 34th Street deserves an A+. It's a classic. Watch it whenever you can. You could wait a little bit, but don't wait too long. Don't go your whole life without ever seeing Miracle on 34th Street, especially if you can really get this version. I swear, this is the kind of kindness and empathy and just joy that the world needs. It's a big hug. Just let Edmund Gwenn give you a big hug. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please click that subscribe button. I want to keep talking about audio description, but I'd love to talk about it with more people watching. So the only way I'm going to do that is if you like and subscribe. I have a website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. You can follow me on X, Threads, or Instagram at MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. I'll let you know what has audio description where you can watch it. I even wore a Santa shirt for this. I have a Santa shirt on right now. I should have said that. And the ADNA.org, the ADNA.org. And you can find out who's narrating your favorite films and television series when they have a narration. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I watched something else with a little ho 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 and a jolly good time. See you guys on the other side.